Donald Trump promised to hit John Deere with a 200% tariff on any products not made in the U.S.
In recent months, John Deere, a titan in the agricultural machinery industry, has made headlines due to controversial decisions involving manufacturing shifts and significant layoffs. The company is restructuring its operations by moving some production overseas while simultaneously announcing layoffs at various U.S. facilities. These actions have ignited debates about the future of American manufacturing and the impact on local economies, especially in rural areas where John Deere has been a cornerstone employer for generations. Adding complexity to this situation is former President Donald Trump's proposal to impose tariffs on John Deere products. Trump's stance on tariffs has been a hallmark of his economic policy, aimed at protecting American jobs and industries from foreign competition. By imposing tariffs, he seeks to make domestically produced goods more competitive against imports, which could potentially benefit American manufacturers like John Deere. However, the proposed tariffs also raise questions about their broader impact on the agricultural sector, particularly for farmers who rely heavily on John Deere equipment. This scenario sets the stage for an engaging discussion about the implications of John Deere's decisions and Trump's tariff proposals. How will these developments affect American farmers who depend on reliable access to affordable agricultural machinery? Will the tariffs lead to a resurgence in domestic manufacturing or create further obstacles for farmers already facing economic pressures? As we delve into this topic, it's crucial to consider the interconnectedness of manufacturing, tariffs, and the agricultural landscape. Decisions made by companies like John Deere and policies proposed by political leaders have far-reaching consequences that extend beyond boardrooms and into the fields, where American farmers work tirelessly to feed the nation. Before we delve deeper, if you're interested in staying informed about critical issues impacting American agriculture, please subscribe to our channel. Your support enables us to continue bringing insightful content to you. John Deere's recent decision to relocate a portion of its manufacturing operations to Mexico has sparked significant debate regarding its impact on American jobs and local economies. The primary reason behind this strategic move is the stark difference in labor costs between the United States and Mexico. By shifting production south of the border, John Deere aims to reduce operational expenses and enhance its competitiveness in a global market that increasingly prioritizes cost efficiency. The specific equipment lines affected by this relocation include key products, such as tractors and other agricultural machinery essential to the farming industry. These lines represent a substantial portion of John Deere's output, and their production in Mexico raises concerns about the long-term viability of manufacturing jobs in the U.S. As these operations move, the implications for American workers become increasingly evident. The company has announced layoffs at its facilities in Iowa and Illinois, where many employees have dedicated years, if not decades, to their roles. The loss of these jobs not only affects the individuals and their families, but also has a ripple effect on local economies that rely on the income generated by these workers. In these communities, local businesses that cater to John Deere employees, such as restaurants, retail shops, and service providers, may experience a decline in revenue due to reduced spending power. The layoffs contribute to a growing sense of instability in regions that have historically enjoyed the economic benefits of having a manufacturing giant like John Deere in their midst. While John Deere may achieve short-term cost savings, the long-term consequences for American workers and communities could be detrimental. This situation underscores the ongoing challenges faced by the U.S. manufacturing sector and highlights the need for a comprehensive discussion about balancing cost efficiency with the preservation of American jobs. The recent layoffs at John Deere have sent shockwaves through communities that rely heavily on the company for employment and economic stability. In total, John Deere announced approximately 10% of its workforce would be laid off, translating to thousands of jobs lost across its manufacturing facilities, particularly in Iowa and Illinois. The company's rationale centers around the need to streamline operations and enhance competitiveness in a challenging global market. Rising costs and the necessity to adapt to changing market demands were cited as key factors driving this decision. The broader economic implications for communities dependent on John Deere's workforce are significant. In towns where John Deere has been a primary employer for generations, the loss of jobs translates to decreased consumer spending, leading to a domino effect on local businesses. Restaurants, retail shops, and service providers that rely on the disposable income of John Deere employees are likely to see a decline in revenue, further exacerbating economic instability in the area. Additionally, local governments may face budgetary challenges as property taxes and sales taxes decline due to reduced economic activity. This creates a cycle of economic downturn from which it can be difficult for communities to recover. Employee sentiments regarding job security amidst corporate profits are understandably fraught with anxiety and frustration. Many workers have expressed feelings of betrayal, witnessing the company reporting strong profits while simultaneously announcing layoffs. This disconnect raises questions about the priorities of large corporations. Workers who have dedicated years to the company now find themselves grappling with uncertainty about their futures. The emotional toll of job loss extends beyond financial concerns. It affects mental health, family dynamics, and community cohesion. Moreover, the layoffs have sparked discussions about the ethical responsibilities of corporations toward their employees and the communities they inhabit. As John Deere navigates the complexities of a global economy, the challenge lies in balancing the pursuit of profit with the well-being of its workforce and supportive communities. The situation at John Deere serves as a poignant reminder of the broader issues facing American manufacturing and the need for a more sustainable approach that prioritizes both economic viability and social responsibility. If you or someone you know has been affected by these layoffs, we encourage you to share your story in the comments below. Your experiences are important and can shed light on the real impact of corporate decisions on individuals and communities. John Deere's recent introduction of software locks on its agricultural equipment has stirred significant controversy among farmers. These locks restrict their ability to repair their own machinery, forcing them to seek assistance exclusively from authorized dealers. Traditionally, farmers have relied on their knowledge and skills to maintain and repair their equipment, often performing these tasks independently or with the help of local mechanics. The financial implications of relying solely on authorized dealers for repairs can be substantial. Authorized dealers can charge premium prices for both labor and parts, significantly increasing the overall cost of equipment maintenance. For many farmers, especially those operating on tight margins, these additional expenses strain their budgets and impact profitability. The inability to perform repairs in-house means farmers must factor in the costs of downtime, as waiting for dealer service can lead to delays in getting equipment back in the field. This situation is particularly concerning during critical planting and harvesting seasons, when every hour of equipment downtime can translate into lost revenue. Farmers have expressed growing frustration over these restrictions, viewing them as an infringement on their rights as equipment owners. Many feel they should have the freedom to repair their machinery without being beholden to corporate policies that prioritize profit over customer service. Critics argue that John Deere's software locks are a deliberate attempt to create a monopoly on repairs, effectively forcing farmers into dependency on the company and its authorized dealers. This practice limits competition and stifles innovation within the repair industry. In response, the right to repair movement has gained significant momentum. Farmers across the country are increasingly advocating for their right to reclaim the ability to repair their own machinery, which they believe is essential for maintaining their independence and ensuring the sustainability of their operations. Grassroots efforts involve local organizations and coalitions, raising awareness about the importance of repair rights, emphasizing that farmers should not be beholden to restrictive corporate policies. Notable legislative efforts have emerged to address these challenges. Various states have introduced right-to-repair bills seeking to mandate manufacturers to provide access to repair information, diagnostic tools, and parts for consumers and independent repair shops. Legal battles have also surfaced, with farmers and advocacy groups challenging John Deere's policies in court, arguing that such restrictions violate their rights as equipment owners. The political response to John Deere's recent decisions, particularly in light of Donald Trump's threat to impose tariffs, has ignited a heated debate about the future of American manufacturing and its implications for the agricultural sector. Trump has long championed the use of tariffs as a tool to protect American jobs and industries from foreign competition. His stance on imposing tariffs on agricultural equipment, including products manufactured by John Deere, is rooted in the belief that such measures could bolster domestic production and create a more favorable environment for American manufacturers. However, the potential impact of these tariffs on equipment prices raises significant concerns for farmers who rely on affordable machinery to sustain their operations. If implemented, the proposed tariffs could lead to increased prices for John Deere equipment, directly affecting American farmers. As the cost of machinery rises, farmers may find it increasingly difficult to invest in the equipment necessary for efficient production. This situation could exacerbate the financial challenges already faced by many in the agricultural sector, particularly small and mid-sized farms operating on tight margins. The implications of Trump's tariff threats extend beyond individual farmers to the broader agricultural sector. Industry experts warn that while tariffs may provide short-term relief for domestic manufacturers, they could also lead to retaliatory measures from other countries, complicating trade relationships. Such actions could disrupt supply chains and lead to increased costs for farmers, who depend on imported goods and materials. The agricultural sector is particularly sensitive to these dynamics, as farmers often operate within a global marketplace where price fluctuations have immediate and far-reaching consequences. Contrasting views on tariffs have emerged from industry experts and politicians, highlighting the complexity of the issue. Some argue that tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and ensure fair competition. Others contend that they could ultimately harm the very farmers they aim to support. Critics emphasize that increased equipment costs could lead to reduced investment in agriculture, stifling innovation and growth in the sector. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this complex issue. Do you believe tariffs are the right approach to protect American jobs, or do they pose more harm than good to farmers? Share your opinions in the comments section below. The ethical concerns surrounding John Deere's profit-driven decisions have come to the forefront, particularly in light of the stark contrast between the company's record profits and the recent layoff of thousands of employees. In a time when John Deere reported substantial earnings, many workers faced job insecurity and the loss of livelihoods. This dissonance raises critical questions about the company's priorities and its commitment to its workforce. Moreover, the implications of executive compensation and stock buybacks further complicate the ethical landscape at John Deere. Significant resources have been allocated to executive bonuses and stock buybacks, rather than investing in employee welfare or job security. This practice exacerbates income inequality within the company and fosters a corporate culture that prioritizes short-term financial gains over long-term sustainability and employee well-being. The disconnect between executive rewards and employee sacrifices raises ethical questions about the values driving corporate decision-making. The United Auto Workers, or UAW, union has been vocal in its criticism of what it perceives as corporate greed at John Deere. The union argues that the focus on maximizing shareholder returns often comes at the expense of job security, fair wages, and adequate working conditions. The UAW stance highlights the need for a more equitable approach to corporate governance, one that considers all stakeholders' interests, including employees, rather than solely focusing on profits. These ethical concerns extend beyond John Deere to the broader manufacturing sector and corporate America as a whole. As workers and unions advocate for fair treatment and accountability, the conversation around corporate ethics gains traction. The growing awareness of the disconnect between corporate profits and employee welfare is prompting calls for change, urging companies to adopt more responsible practices that prioritize workforce well-being. In this discussion, we've explored several key areas surrounding John Deere's recent decisions and their significant impact on farmers and the agricultural community. The company's shift toward restrictive practices, such as the introduction of software locks limiting farmers' ability to repair their own equipment, has sparked widespread frustration. Additionally, we examined the implications of John Deere's layoffs, which occurred alongside record profits, raising ethical questions about corporate responsibility and the treatment of workers in the pursuit of financial gain. We also delved into the growing right to repair movement, which advocates for consumer rights and the ability of farmers to maintain and repair their machinery without reliance on authorized dealers. This movement emphasizes the importance of transparency and fairness in corporate practices, highlighting that farmers should have the tools and information necessary to keep their equipment operational. As technology continues to advance in agriculture, it's crucial to strike a balance between innovation and farmer independence, ensuring that all stakeholders can benefit from these advancements without sacrificing their rights. The implications of these issues extend beyond individual farmers to the broader agricultural sector and consumer rights as a whole. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might be interested. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth discussions on critical issues affecting our world and advocate for positive change in the industry.